Hey y'all, we're back. Shout out to everybody that came from the other live to this one. I really appreciate it, and we're gonna have fun, just as much fun in this one. Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host Pinky, and today we're gonna be talking about part 2 of ranking Married at First Sight matches. I love the fact that many of you love the idea, the concept. I do plan on doing more like tier lists. So I think that's just like a fun thing for us to do on live. I'm trying to figure out like, the topics and like, maybe what the tier list should consist of, and the names of the tiers and everything. But yeah, before we begin, I do want everyone to check out my website, libidarosastyle.com, where you can find cute accessories like the ones I'm wearing right now. My pumpkin earrings right here, and these are handmade, and I have many other styles on the website. Make sure y'all check that out. And oh, that's a good idea, Alexis. You should do one for Love is Blind and This Is Us characters. I like that idea. I really do. If I have time, I might come back tomorrow with Love is Blind. I'm not making any promises, but I might. But yeah, that's a good idea. And hey to everybody in the chat. Hey Ashley, hey Janelle. Want to ask if everything. Yeah, everything's fine from yesterday. It wasn't as big of an emergency as I thought, but I did need to get off live. So thanks for checking on me. Hey Day. So glad for both of these lives. I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting for my son to get off. Oh, well, I'm so glad you could chill with us and we can have a good laugh together. Okay, without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the tier list. Now, this is the list from yesterday. If you did not see part 1, we already filled up, half of the list. So if you see some people on there that, you would like to see how they got there, check out yesterday's live. It is up right now. But for now, we're going to finish this one. So next up, we have Steve. I'm going to put Steve on second chances because, I do feel like his match was a little bit immature. And I feel like, Black Man Steve. For those who don't know, my grandmother, when this season was on, I watched this season with her, and for whatever reason, she just thought that he was mixed with black in some way or another, and I don't know why. She just, would not let that go, but that's why Alex put Black Man Steve. Yeah, I think he deserved better. Even though, did he ever confirm what his occupation was? He's with Mindy now too. So, are they still together? They were together last time I checked. Steve wasn't ready with the finances. But see, that's the thing. Like, was his finances not actually there, or was he not willing to show her, or forthcoming with how he made money? Like, how did that go? Because I remember being very skeptical, but I don't remember there being any proof necessarily. Because I'm willing to put him in the wasn't ready category. I'm willing to put him there. But I just don't remember how that went down, low key. Yeah, he was dating Mindy. He has a podcast and a book. That's not a good sign. Is he a podcast bro? Hey, we back. This is a nice stroll down memory lane. It is. Married at First Sight is how I discovered your channel. Oh, that's cute. I'm just gonna leave him where he is, because that's I don't know. That's all I remember of the situation. I think she said he showed her the money. Yeah, something happened with that. I don't remember exactly. Next, where should we put Zach? Speaking of Mindy, where should we put Zach? I think I'm gonna put him in toxic. But then again, he wouldn't even move in with old girl. He wouldn't even move in with her. No, I'm gonna put her with Chris, because Chris did the same thing. He wouldn't even move in with her, and then on top of that, wasn't he talking to her friend or something like that? Yeah, he did Mindy pretty dirty, and he didn't give her a chance from the beginning. Like, I remember on their honeymoon, like, he barely wanted to sleep in the bed with her. So yeah, I have to put him in Chris tier, because I'm like, if you're gonna treat somebody like that, if you're gonna be that standoffish and not even want to move into the apartment, yeah, toxic. Because had he moved in and slept with her, no, I'm not saying that he should sleep with her, but at least move in. I feel like if you don't move in, that's diabolical, because that's the whole point of being on the show. It reminds me of Alyssa. Is Alyssa on this list? I'm a good person. She refused to move in too. Chris Tier is taking me out, and they kept giving him camera time to her. Yeah, I didn't like the way the situation was handled either. So next up, what's his name? Here we go. I should have looked up names before I got on here, y'all. I'm gonna put him in toxic though. I'm gonna put him in toxic because I don't know. I didn't like the way he treated his wife, and I just remember him being more attracted to her mother, Mitch. I remember him being more attracted to the mother at the altar, and I thought that was kind of icky. And I feel like he just wasn't attracted to her, and I don't know, child. At one point, he took off his ring whenever he went to some sort of conference he had at work. So I'm gonna put him in toxic. So next up, I should remember his name, but Perm, y'all know who this is. Sir, I might have to put him in toxic too, because he was playing game. Ryan, he was playing. Oh, I forgot about Mitch with his dirty tub. Yes, he had a nasty house. I forgot about that. I forgot about that. He sure did have that nasty house. And he had the nerve to let all of that be caught on film. Y'all would not have even stepped foot in my place if I knew it looked like that. But he was just nasty and he didn't care. He was probably trying to scare her away with that. Yeah, the stove. But yeah, we're gonna put Ryan in toxic because I feel like he was a little bit controlling. But honestly, I do think him and the person named Clara, I do think him and Clara were mismatched. Obviously, they had different beliefs on religion. Yeah, and I think something with I love you. I feel like he only said I love you because he was pressured to say I love you. It was really weird at the reunion. She was doing a lot of things. Yeah, oh yes, I forgot about that. She was giving and was not receiving. And I thought that was so messed up. That was so messed up for and then he was being very standoffish in that area, but then you'll let her give, but you won't you'll let her give, but you won't give anything back. Lied about consummating the marriage. He would not sleep with. Yeah. And then do y'all remember when they broke up? And she was very vocal on social media. I think she made TikToks and stuff about it. And he tried to make it seem like she was insensitive to Black people, or she said some insensitive comments about Black people or something like that. And it really wasn't even that deep. I forgot exactly what it was, but I feel like you definitely wanted a white woman. All of your friends are white. I'm sure if we look at your exes, all of them will be white as well, so let's not act like you just anyway, like he just so woke. But I think that was like during 2020, and everybody was on the woke train during that time. So next up we have Bao. Should we put Bao in second chances? The only reason why I'm hesitant, she definitely didn't deserve to be matched with Johnny, because Johnny, he's full on Chris tier. But it's just that whole situation with her dating Zach afterwards. I'm just like, that was a little toxic to me. Yeah, I don't know. I might just have to put her in wasn't ready. Wasn't ready. The fact that she got was that, yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna put her in wasn't ready. I think that's the best solution. Alyssa, Miss I'm a good person, ma'am. You could be a good person right along with everybody else in Chris tier, because you just weren't attracted to the man, but you wanted to make him look like the villain. You wanted to make him look like he was the one in the wrong for whatever reason. I just didn't like the way she was acting. She wanted to move into the apartment, but didn't want him to move in so she could hang out with her girls. Like she was very mean to him. It was so uncalled for. If you don't want the man, just exit the experiment. There was no point in her doing all of that. And then she was trying to imply that, I think she said she went to a psychic or somebody, and the psychic told her that she would be with somebody with a specific tattoo, and Steve had that tattoo. Her talking to the producers about him being aggressive. Yeah, I really didn't like the way she was trying to paint him like he really was doing something to her. He didn't do anything. In fact, he was much nicer than I would have been in that situation. Like, he was actually the nice person. he got dealt a bad hand. If anything, he definitely deserves a second chance. Yeah, the lion tattoo. She wanted Steve, baby. She wanted Steve, and she thought she got gypped. She thought she was supposed to get Steve, but she didn't. Imagine if they would have got matched up. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on to Virginia. I'm gonna put her. Should I just put her in? Wasn't ready. I might have to say toxic because she was drunk all the time. She was drunk all the time, and how can anybody develop a relationship with someone who is consistently inebriated? You're always wanting to go out. You're always wanting to do this and that. Yeah, you wasn't ready, but also I feel like anybody that she would have got with that, that drinking wouldn't have helped anything. So I would be drunk with Eric as well. Okay, this woman, I'm gonna put her in toxic too. Because I don't know, just the way that she dealt with the guy. She didn't like him. What was his name? We just talked about him. This is him right here. She didn't like the way he dressed. Like, she was looking for any little reason to not like the man, and she should have just been honest. She wasn't attracted to him, and it just wasn't giving. I hate when people come on the show and they're just so rigid and are not open at all. What was the point of you coming? Like, if you're that picky, why are you letting someone else choose your spouse? Haley was so mean when she had everyone at break. Oh, I forgot about that. She sure did. I see. The thing is, y'all, I remember my feelings towards the people. I might not remember their name, but I remember my feelings. I might not remember what happened, but I remember, feeling away. Yeah, she sure did. She sure did invite everybody to breakfast and not her own husband. She was just rude. Like, she was giving mean girl. She was. Refused to try. She refused to sit with him on the plane ride home. Yes. Oh wow, I gotta go back and watch part one. Yeah, go back and watch part one. Part one was good. It had some. I'm telling you, part one is the reason why we have Chris tier. Chris made his own tier. I can't remember her name. I do think she deserves better and a second chance because what was his guy? What's his name? Amir. He really didn't give her a chance. And I think they never actually said what it was that turned him off from her. He said he didn't want to say it on camera because Eris, thank you. He said that he didn't want to say on camera what it was that made him not attracted to her. Personally, I think it was her teeth, and I'm not saying that because I didn't like her teeth. I'm saying that because she got her teeth fixed before the reunion. And so that just made me feel like that was a part of it. But I felt bad because she came in with so much confidence, and by the end of the situation, she just was so like. And I don't think that Eris was doing it on purpose. I don't think he was being malicious, but I feel like she should have just left that situation long before they got to decision day. Got a bag and fixed her teeth. Oh, I didn't put all the seasons on here because if I would have did all the seasons, it would have been even longer than this. I just did the last few seasons. So the lady that got arrested, she was like from like what, the first few seasons. I didn't do the first few seasons. Okay. I'm gonna put her in wasn't ready. I'm gonna put her in wasn't ready because she was kind of immature, if I'm remembering correctly. Um, like she had her life together as far as her career, but yeah, she was just immature. I do think her partner was a little iffy, but I don't know. Both of them could have tried a little bit harder. They just was immature to me. I don't think either one of them were ready. Yeah, that's Dominique. Thank you. That was Dominique. I was concerned about their relationship from the beginning because it was like an interracial one, but I don't think that truly played a part in anything. Um, and then didn't she try to oh, the family was racist? Oh yeah, because the mom, his mom, his mom promised to give him like a lump sum of money if he didn't do the show. I know he regret not taking that money. I know he regret not taking that money, but I can't remember anything else outside of that with his family. Mindy, I'm gonna say Mindy deserved a second chance. You know, Zach really, he didn't try at all. And she was just, no matter what, she was willing to give it a chance. She was willing to give it her all. And Zach just completely, she got the short end of the stick with him. And the sad part was she was so attracted to him and he just completely shot her down every single time. Why do I have two Mindy pictures? I don't know how to get rid of it. This lady with the beauty salon, I'm gonna say toxic because I feel like she just came on the show to promote her business. It's two Mindys and two Zacks. It show is I didn't even realize the other Zach in there. Oh my goodness. Yes, I do. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I just feel like she did her partner dirty. She didn't really give him a chance. Gina, yes. I feel like she just literally, I mean, every scene she mentioned her salon, every single scene. I hope you got the customers you was looking for. I really do, because that's all we heard about was the salon and dealing with the people in the salon. And I feel like she tried to come up with anything she could to make her partner look bad. Clint did deserve better, because he was so nice and sweet and charming in the midst of it all. Like, he really didn't have to react the way that he did, but he was a real gentleman the whole time. Because I would have been upset that I got matched with somebody who was not concerned about being married. Let me stretch this out a little bit. Let's see who's next. Ooh, we gonna have to put her in toxic. We gonna put her, and I'm sorry. Her and Brandon, they were toxic together, but they were toxic. I feel like this relationship was doomed from the beginning, though, because there was someone that was supposed to walk down the aisle before her and she dropped out, and they picked her up at the last minute. So I feel like it was doomed. It just wasn't meant to be from the very beginning. Taylor and that is toxic for that wig alone. They were toxic together. Like, even like with that situation that happened before the reunion, and I feel like she would be antagonizing him in passive aggressive ways, and then kind of like, poke him and then jump back like, oh, I don't know why he's acting like that. You're poking the beast. You're poking a bear. You already know that. So Taylor was there for clout. I could see that too. They were the couple that had the restraining orders. Yes, both of them were very toxic. I'm not going to put it on one or the other. Both of them were toxic together. together and should not have been on this show for sure. I mean, low key, I low key do want to go back and watch it because I forgot exactly what happened. But y'all remember, this is the season with Michael and Mika. So it was a lot going on this season. That was a good season. Didn't her dog like her husband? Mm-hmm. And then she post some stuff on social media, like some subliminals about him or something like that. I vaguely remember that. Fighting on the bus. They show was fighting on the bus. They was fighting on the bus coming from the honeymoon. They were doomed, y'all. They were doomed. They were doomed from the beginning. I forgot how toxic they were. I forgot all of that stuff happened. Sure did. Since I brought up Michael, we already know where Michael belonged because he was diabolical. Michael was diabolical with all that lying. He didn't only lie to Mika, he lied to the experts, he lied to production and told him he was a principal, told them that he taught yoga. And when Mika went up there and exposed him, had everybody looking foolish, they did not vet him. They did not vet him well. And if they did, they strictly put him on the show for drama, because absolutely not. He was even lying to himself. And can y'all believe this man is married? I don't know if he's currently married, but somebody married him after all of this. Everybody deserves love, but how do you watch this show, see that behavior, and then come behind that and marry him? It's giving Legion. Okay, Mika was the original Who TF Did I Marry? She was defending him online. And I don't want to hear nothing. If anything happened and he started lying, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear nothing about it. I don't want to hear nothing. You had all the warning signs. The red flag was on fire and you decided to proceed. So I don't want to hear nothing else about it. Huh? Because Michael was fine. I don't know about that, Katie. But anyway, don't tell me he ordered a daggone cap and gown. Because I'm like, Michael really made me question the vetting process. Because how did he get through? Michael Ealy, Michael Jordan, Michael B. Jordan. But anyway, let me move on. I forgot this man's name. I'm sure y'all will put it in the comments. I'm gonna put him under not ready because he had a lot of insecurities. And I do feel like in the beginning, Shaq, thank you, that Kristen probably wasn't attracted to him and wasn't giving him the time. But after so often she did, and I just don't know that he could handle it. Y'all can't clown me anymore for my taste in men. Oh, you wouldn't fool with him. Okay. Yes. That's Shaq. I just feel like he wasn't ready. I feel like at some point he would be a good husband to somebody, but he said they wrote out his benefits in an offer letter. She tapped out at the altar when she saw his bald head. She wasn't attracted to him. She wasn't. But I think at some point she was trying. I do. And maybe he checked out at that point, but I just think both of them weren't ready, personally. Derek, Derek is someone who definitely deserved a second chance. He was matched up with Katie. Katie, the dream killer. All the man wanted to do was write a Christmas song, and she shot his dreams down so fast. This man did everything he could to try to please this woman, put her on his health insurance. It just wasn't enough. And I feel like he's such a sweet man. I feel like any one of these women, especially in this particular category, would have loved to be matched up with someone like him. He was tall, he was handsome. um I, I just didn't understand why she was treating him like that. It must have been some sort of projection or past trauma she was taking out on him. I don't know, but I feel like he was one of the best husbands to have been on this show. And she really fumbled. She did. She shot his dreams down, but grabbed hold of them benefits. Okay. She was walking all over that man. Lindsay. Lindsay is Chris tier. Woo. Now, am I gonna act like Martha Shark was an angel? No. But the way that she talked, the way she went in on that man in that bathroom that day, and just was just talking, she was just very nasty to him. Anytime she got a chance to say, and it wasn't even just to him, she was nasty to other people in the cast. Didn't she go in on Steve too? How you go in on Steve? What did Steve do? Steve was so laid back and minding his own business. um Lindsay kept embarrassing, like she purposely humiliated him anytime she got a chance to do it, every single time. And I was just like, what was the point? Yeah, she talked about his down below. She sure did. She sure did. It was filthy, and people tried to, her people warned Mark, um, but she was a headache, and she was even a headache. They had a special, and she came back on that show once again, like being a headache. I mean, just a train wreck. On the bus when she was trying to clock people for not speaking Spanish. What was that whole situation between her and Elijah Wan? Didn't her and Elijah Wan get into it too? Both of them two sides of the same coin. Two sides of the same coin. They do the exact same thing to their partners. Chris Tier. Yeah, she's Chris Tier all day long. Hold on 1 second. She was low key crushing on Elijah Wan. I could see that. Okay, Rachel. I'm gonna put Rachel in deserved a second chance because the way that man did her, the way that man locked her out of her own apartment because they got into it, and she had to go try to knock on people's doors because it was the middle of the night, and because it was the middle of the night, no one answered the door, and so she had to call her ex because she didn't have nobody else to call. Yeah, Jose did her dirty, and then the fact that he did that because she called him Johnny. That's beyond evil and vindictive. And I'm gonna go ahead and put him in Chris tier. Where he at? You already you just going in Chris tier just because I got mad just now. Because how you gonna lock somebody? You gonna lock your wife? Your wife? Anything could have happened to her. How do you lock your wife out? You supposed to protect her. Like, I get it. You know, we get into arguments, we fuss and fight, but you put me in danger when you lock me out. The men on that season were so awful. Sure was. Oh my goodness, that was horrible. I really feel like Jose should have been reprimanded way more for that. They didn't get on his head enough for me. Jose did not care what happened to her out there. Yes. That was terrible. That was awful. That's like one of the worst things that's ever happened on this show, if you ask me. Like, that woman really was out there stranded. And I'm not saying it would be different if the cameras were there, but it was in the middle of the night. She didn't have anybody to call. She had to literally call her ex. He had the nerve to say that he secures his property before. Yeah, he tried to lie. And that's another thing. He didn't even take accountability for none of it. He didn't take accountability for none of it. Okay, so let's move on. I'm gonna put, where should I put? Man, Amelia and Bennett, at one point in time, I would have said Amelia and Bennett were perfectly matched. They just felt like a perfect match at the time. They really did. But the turning point for me with Amelia is when she told Bennett that she did this because she wanted to be on TV. And I feel like, now I didn't laugh it off, but I feel like a lot of us laughed that off like it was nothing until Bennett came out and said that they got divorced. And I feel like she literally was just doing this for TV. Period. So yes, I'm gonna have to put her in toxic. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. He's married to a man? Since when? But I could have sworn I saw a special where he said he was in a relationship with a woman. Is he, y'all? I don't know. I ain't been keeping up. Child. He did? I did not know that, y'all. I promise you I didn't know. Yeah, I thought Amelia and Bennett were a match made in heaven too. I think I'm just gonna put Bennett, because I'm gonna put Bennett and he wasn't ready too. I still don't think Bennett was ready because Bennett was, y'all remember that shack he was living in? It didn't even have plumbing. So, if anything, if the marriage did work, he probably would have been a stay-at-home dad. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he was necessarily ready to be anybody's husband, but I do think he truly loved Amelia. I will give him that. Isn't the other girl engaged to? Yeah, Alexis. Yeah, Alexis is engaged to a woman. Do you remember the bottom of their feet? Yes. Oh, yes, I remember that. Oh, why you remind me? Ooh. Let's go ahead and move on to Clara. I'm gonna say deserved a second chance because she did kind of get dealt a bad hand with Ryan. I think she, paired with someone else, I think she probably could have fared a little bit better. She wanted to be a good wife, and I feel like that's why she you know, did the things that she did, even though it was kind of against what she would normally do. Been in his Ebenezer Scrooge sleeping. Oh, thank you so much, HFG, for the $5 super chat. I nominate all the experts for toxic. Yes. all the experts need to be in the toxic category, child. If they pictures was up here, they would all go in toxic for sure. All Clara wanted was a racially ambiguous man. Yes. And I don't see nothing wrong with it. But she seems like she's much happier now. I see her every now and then on TikTok. Whoo. We definitely gonna have to put him in toxic. Should he be in Chris tier? I'm gonna put him in toxic because both him and old girl, they was toxic together. They definitely were. He had a lot of I want to say insecurities and anger issues that he took out on the situation. I do think he got more smoke than she did, and I don't think that was fair. I wish he would have showed up to the reunion, but then again, they had a restraining order, so how would that work? Yeah, that situation was just, we talked about how toxic it was. It was just really bad, and they just did not need to be together, and I'm glad they're no longer playing these games. I'm gonna put, ain't his name Ryan? I'm gonna put Ryan in toxic. I'm gonna put him in toxic because I feel like Ryan did this to get on TV. I think he wanted a little bit of clout. He never really gave Brett a chance. I don't think he was ever attracted to her. Didn't he say he wanted a blonde or something like that? And then the next thing you know, he's dating different women from the show, like other seasons of the show. He's dating women from Love is Blind. It's just giving that he wanted attention and clout. And so that's why I'm just like, I'm just gonna put him in toxic because you don't seem like you did this for the right reasons. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, he didn't even try. Ryan wanted a whirlwind romance. Stacy from Love is Blind is with a woman. Everybody is with a woman these days. Okay. Morgan, I'm gonna put Morgan in toxic. Morgan, whatever past trauma Morgan went through, she took that out on Ben, and I don't think that was fair. She was just really mean to him, and I don't know, what did he say about her being a nurse? I really think she just took that over the top and used that as a reason to talk down on him. Morgan needs some therapy. Yeah, she needs the same therapy Virginia needs. Morgan rubbed me the wrong way so bad. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like the way she handled the situation with Ben. I don't think Ben deserved all of that. He had good intentions. And even with her acting the way that she was acting, he still would try to go above and beyond to try to make it right. We're gonna put this guy in Perfectly Matched because him and his wife are still together. I believe they're on their second child. I was concerned at first. I was like, is he ready? But they're still together and going strong. Let me see. I'm sure is she down here? I don't even think she on the list, child. Here she go. I'm gonna put her up here with her man. Yeah, I really don't have much to say about them except for the experts. They actually got it right with them. And they seem happy. And yeah. Great. Woo. Jamie and Elizabeth, we're gonna have to put both of them in toxic, child. We're gonna have to put both of them in toxic because she threw that table. She threw that table. She said they have basic Caucasian bed life. They swam. Thank you. That's a perfect. They swam in toxicity, Tara. They for sure. Oh my goodness. Everything about them was toxic. They got into it over every little thing. And either he was always the one storming off and leaving. But I'm telling you, I bet you, and that's what they did when the cameras were there. Can you imagine what was going down when when nobody was around? When they, like, if they was in the car or they was somewhere where they weren't being filmed, can you imagine what type of fighting went down then? Made him drink that moon water. She was so like eclectic. She was a little different. Jamie and Elizabeth were low key perfect for one another, though. His eyes were dancing when they threw. Yeah, they loved it. They loved the toxicity. I don't care how much they act like they didn't. They loved it. They both were. They both were there for, and they stayed married for a while. I think they just now got divorced. Um, and when I say a while, I mean a while for the show, because most of these marriages don't last. But they were together for a few years. I think they just got divorced like last year or a few months ago, something like that. They were some Fatal Attraction for sure, for sure. I couldn't believe they said yes on decision day. They loved that toxicity. And then remember, both of them were iffy about kids. And I thought that was wrong that they were even chosen to be on a show like this, because both of them like were iffy, but then they said but in real life they don't want kids, and they just so happen to get matched up with each other. But imagine if they would have got matched up with someone who did want kids. They rubbed me the wrong way from the beginning. Who else? Oh, Deanna and Greg. This is like my favorite OG Married at First Sight couple. I love them. I feel like they are another one that is like a perfect match for each other. I feel like they both were just open. Well, Deanna wasn't at first. She had her wall up at first, but eventually she opened up. They both were just open, and he made it easy for her to open up. He was patient with her, and child, when she walked in and saw that nice big house that he had for her to move into, it made it a little bit easier for her to, let her guard down. And, they're just going strong. They have a child now. I don't know. They just put me in my feels because they were somebody that I was rooting for day one, and just to see how, like, the fact that they're still together and they still made it, and they, you don't hear anything crazy coming from them. You like to see solid Black couples come from this show. And so, yeah, they did have a beautiful love story. They did the experiment like it used to be. Yes, yes, yes. I feel like they were a good match. They actually matched them up very well. That house sold her. It would have sold me to, okay. When she walked in and saw that it had a patio and a deck or something like that. It had something in the front and in the back. I was like, okay, I would have been happy with that house too. Oh, their child is 3. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm so happy for them. I really am. Do they ever post to their YouTube? If they do, I miss their videos. Woo, okay. Oh, child. I feel like every time we talk about Iris, I don't know why it's got to be so controversial. People get in their feelings over Iris for whatever reason. I'm gonna put both her and Keith in wasn't ready. I do think both of them weren't ready. I feel like Iris, I don't think necessarily because she was a virgin. I don't think that it was because of that. I just think she wasn't open to being open. They both made a pact that they wouldn't say certain things on TV. And I feel like that kind of helped to build a narrative against Iris when I think it was a little bit of both of them. He even admitted at the reunion that he wasn't ready either. And I don't care what nobody say. The fact that him and Ari Lennox announced their relationship and a few days later she announced she was single, I'm like, it's something going on with Keith that we don't know about. He tried to play that, mysterious type. He might be a little toxic on the low for all we know. But she recently got locks. Oh, okay. Oh, you talking about Deanna. Yeah, they weren't. Oh, yeah. Iris is engaged now. She is, and I believe she's still a virgin. So I don't think it was the fact that she was a virgin. It was the fact of, she just wasn't. I do think she had immaturity in certain areas, but I don't think it's necessarily because she was a virgin. I think Iris would have been good with someone with similar values. I could see that too. I think both of them play games on some level. I agree. With that. A virgin shouldn't do this show. I agree with that as well. I think you shouldn't lose your virginity to a stranger, regardless of whether you're married to them or not. I just don't think so. It's the reason you kept it this long. You might as well save it for someone with similar values. I agree. A good on paper couple. Deanna and Greg, Christina and Keith, they were. Forgot about Christina and Keith. Dang, they weren't even on this list, but let's just get through these last few, child. Amber, she deserved a second chance because of who she was matched up with, child. We're gonna put him in Chris tier. This man was diabolical. Amber deserved better because she just gave her all, and I think she's engaged now too. Shout out to her. She's also engaged. Matt should have never been chosen in the first place. Matt was homeless. He didn't even have a stable place to live. He didn't even have a stable job. Yeah, like she put up with a lot with him. He was out cheating on her, wasn't coming home at night, had her sobbing, crying her eyes out. Oh, she's pregnant? Oh my goodness. She's married now? Okay, I didn't know she got married. Oh my goodness. I love to hear this update. So she's married with a baby. That's a beautiful thing. I'm so happy she found love. And I hope she just has the family she always wanted. Because she's a twin. And I remember her just, her twin was married, I believe, and starting her family. And I think she just wanted to do the same. So I'm happy for her. Matt was definitely Chris tier for sure. Matt the homosexual. And then y'all remember when he didn't want to sign them papers? Y'all remember when she had to get him served at that little special that they did because he was running from signing them papers? Y'all remember that? Yeah, like you didn't want her from day one. Oh, and then on top of that, Matt wanted a singing career. He came on the show for clout. You remember he was trying to get on there and sing and put a song out, and low key Keith put out a song too. Keith put out a song too, but they didn't get much traction. Oh, okay. Amber married a doctor. I'm not mad at it. She completely upgraded. Matt with that guitar. He was so full of mess. Yes, the guitar and struggle vocals. So full of mess. Chris definitely deserves a second chance because child being married to Miss I'm a Good Person, and just the way that she tried to villainize him and do him dirty, he didn't deserve that. You know, he handled it with so much grace that I would not have had. Um, yeah, we pretty much already talked about their situation anyway. And finally, old dude, I'm gonna put him in toxic because he was a little toxic, child. Um, he loved him an argument, and even though Lindsay was annoying, I he just wanted to argue half the time. I feel like she couldn't, it didn't matter who it was, he was gonna argue. Oh my goodness, Amber loves her brown man. We knew when she said she loved like loving basketball. Okay. Um, who was the guy that slept with his wife and made her lie about? That was Luke. That was Luke. See, I didn't go back that far. I only went back a few seasons, but Luke is the whole reason why I started reviewing Married at First Sight in the first place. If y'all watch that season, the way he treated Kate on their honeymoon, Luke told Kate that she made him feel dead inside. Like, I was so disgusted with him. And he just kept telling her pretty much that he wasn't attracted to her. They would sleep together, but he made her tell the experts and made her keep it a secret that they were sleeping together. Like, he was a complete jerk. Like, I almost want to put Chris / Luke tier. That's how bad Luke was. Luke was awful. And yes, people say, he likes black women, or he likes women of color, whatever you want to say. But that didn't give him an excuse to treat her the way he did. He did her extremely dirty. Kate is somebody else that needs to be compensated from Married at First Sight. Seriously, or at least give her a lifetime of therapy after dealing with that man. Oh, he was awful. He was awful. Um, and he would cry after. Yes. Oh my goodness. Like, can you imagine what they did to her mental health? The way he treated her, and like, wouldn't he stay out late and stuff like that? And sometimes he would pretend like he liked her, and other times he would come home and he couldn't stand being around her. Like, disgusting. I'm low key excited for the new season. Yeah, I do think this was kind of fun to kind of, for the new season to come back. Hopefully, they learn from their mistakes of the past and they don't have any more Chris tier contestants, because nobody deserves to have to deal with a Chris tier. They really shouldn't have to deal with toxic either, but I feel like most of the people in the toxic category, could hide that side of themselves, but y'all should have saw Chris tier coming. Married at First Sight literally could have a class action lawsuit for the people they intentionally did wrong. It's probably in their contracts that they can't sue for any reason. I couldn't watch after Chris. I was getting too mad after every episode. I don't even blame you, girl. That man really did, like, I do think he brought in the views, but it also simultaneously ruined the integrity of the show. Like the people that actually watched the show from the beginning, or saw some of the original seasons where they actually were trying to match people to get people to stay together, it kind of ruins it when you bring on someone like that, because the show already could be considered laughable or a joke. Whenever I bring up this show to anybody that doesn't already watch it, they already think it's silly. And, to a certain extent it is, but, they just don't take it seriously at all. But when you bring on someone like Chris, it just, why would anybody want to sign up for this show after that? Chris tanked the franchise. I want to join that class action. I have secondhand trauma as a viewer. Okay. Oh, Megamind had messed everything up when they brought on the baby mama. Yeah, I'm like, because it's one thing to have him on the show and for him to say that another woman is pregnant, but to actually bring the woman on to confront Paige, I felt like that was disgusting. When does the USA season come back? This USA season comes back October 2nd. How do you tell someone they are dead inside? You are dead inside after kissing them. That's pure wickedness. You could just not get right. And even you don't even know someone to say something like that. Like, what do you mean? And what could she have ever done to you in a couple of days to make you say something like that? Luke, I'm telling you, Luke was a complete villain. Just nasty for no reason. Because Kate literally was one of the sweetest people to ever be on the show. And Pastor Cal allowed that. That's why I feel like they do need new experts. Like for the longest, I was like, no, we can keep Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper. But I feel like Pastor Cal's ideals are antiquated. Um, I don't know. I didn't like the fact that he was compromising on the religion thing last season. When they were saying that their difference in religion was causing issues for them. I forgot the name of the couple, but the pink haired woman. Like she was agnostic and he was Jewish, and he was just trying to make it seem like that wasn't a big deal. That kind of put the nail in the coffin for me with Pastor Cal. And Dr. Pepper, she's just never around. She just seems like she's over it. She seems like she's ready for retirement. She just seems like she's not invested. Like I remember Dr. Pepper was on season 1 and she was very, excited to be matching these couples. Um she just had a lot more vigor, and now she just looked like she just ready to retire, honey. Like she just want to, do some bird watching or knit or something. Like she just tired. Oh yeah, these are press-ons. I got them from Walmart. They're from Kiss, and they're the gel. You put the gel on it and do the UV light. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've had to put some back on, but they are cute. Bird, Dr. Pepper look like she would do some type of bird watching, or I don't know. Like Dr. Pepper just look like she ready to kick her feet up. Dr. Pepper ready to take a nap in her bed without her husband. Yeah, her and her husband live in 2 separate houses. I still don't get that, but that's just me. I see people online saying how they would love that setup. I wouldn't. I and I'm the type of person, I need alone time, but I don't need that much. Like, come on now. Like, were we living in two separate houses? Not she and her second marriage in a separate house. Dr. Pepper tired of that man. Child. I cannot. Are the houses even next to each other? They need to do an overhaul with the whole expert panel. Yeah, I agree. I think I think they should, like I said, Pastor Cal, Dr. Pepper, they had a good run. I do think they should keep the other expert. I forgot her name, Dr. Pia. They can keep her. I like her. And just replace Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal with some younger people. I'm not saying super young, but younger. People that I would like for you to replace them with someone who's also been married for a while, but just a little bit younger. Someone that's up to date with what's going on today. She wasn't local anymore. She would fly in for a couple of minutes. Yeah, Dr. Pepper need to go on to Colorado and retire wherever you at. Dr. Pepper's giving Oprah. I could see that, like an Oprah and Stedman situation. We don't know what she's going through. It's rough out here. That's true too. We don't know, but we know that you're not giving your all to this show. It seems like it's doing more harm than good. Does anyone know where Montre is today? I hope he's thriving, producing another show. I don't know. As religious as I am, they can get rid of Pastor Cat. That's true too. I that rubbed me the wrong way, because as a pastor, you know for a fact that if someone is agnostic versus being Jewish or extremely religious, that's going to be an issue. That's going to be an issue. Just like when people have a difference in beliefs when it comes to politics, a difference in belief when it comes to kids, it's certain things that are deal breakers, and you know it. So when he was just trying to act like that wasn't a big deal, like they could work through that, I'm like, you're literally going to say whatever you have to say to these people to make them stay together or stick it out. And, it just made me check out. It made me check out. Dr. Pepper probably lets her puppies taste the food before she serves it. What? That's so specific. Montre is still executive producer of Married at First Sight. Child, I'm gonna need for him to help out with casting. I haven't watched Married at First Sight since season 15. I felt like they were playing in our faces. They've been playing in our face for a while. They really have. But y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live here. Shout out to everybody in here. This was a fun one. I do plan on doing more tiers like this. I think the next one I'm gonna do is Love is Blind. Shout out to Alexis for that suggestion. But yeah, this was fun, and I might pop up tomorrow. So have your post notifications on, and we might have a little bit of fun with that one too. So I will see you in my next one.